Hey friends, I wanted to do something a little different this week and just share with you a download that I requested for the collective. Actually, a friend of mine who lovingly calls me God Radio sweetly requested that I make this happen on YouTube, so here we are. If you don't know me, I'm Briana Borten and I help people awaken to their highest selves. So subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to get alerted when I post a new video every Monday. The way that this works with me is that when I want to become a conduit for information from the divine, from the cosmos, whatever you want to call it, I simply clear out and allow that wisdom, that cosmic counsel download to come through. And usually I take notes because it's almost always information that I really want and that it's best if I make sure that I don't miss any pieces. So I'm gonna share some of my notes with you, but I really feel like this information is imperative right now in this moment. So you might wanna take notes too, and let's get started. So when I asked just generally what's going on in the collective, the very first thing that I heard is that there is a paradox of time happening, or what may seem like a paradox. So a paradox is when two seemingly opposite things are true at the same time. And this paradox of time, or seeming paradox of time, is just that. They're two seemingly kind of opposite things occurring, and they're both true and important right now for us. And the first part of it is that we're really being invited to slow down and to stop rushing. So this world where we have prioritized moving quickly, doing a lot, being productive, all of these ways in which we've been colonizing the world, all of these ways in which we've been trying to dominate others or industries or whatever, this is all being asked to slow down or simply stop so that we can be in a deeper place in the moment. So that's the first part of the paradox, is that we're being asked to slow down. The second part is that we're also being asked to understand that now is all that we have, this singular moment and exactly what we're doing. And with this now, we're really being invited to create exactly what we want to see out there in the world and in our own lives, to really use this moment to make that creation happen. So that seems like an urgency, almost like it's like slow down and then do this thing right now. So that's where the paradox lies for us, is to see how we can do both. How can we slow down and also be exacting in our actions to be able to take our dreams out and make them real? And I think that a lot of us are dreaming in a new way now, which is also such a beautiful invitation. So the second part of what they said is that pulling back time, pulling back this veil of time is really uncomfortable. And so we may, while we're doing this or while it's happening, feel like we're losing time, or like time is going by really fast or going by really slow, or we don't know where it went, or having strange relationships with time. So if that's happening to you, there's a reason for it. And it's really that this veil of time as a structure is being pulled back a little bit for us to see underneath. And with that, it's not that we can't use time. They really specifically wanted to make sure that we understood that we can use time as a tool, but when we have been used by time, we have made it such a big veil that we believe it to just be a true construct rather than a tool that we can use. And we use it as a tool so that we can really experience more of this world. And so using it is not a bad thing at all. It's being used by it that creates a lot of pain and suffering for us, and a lot of that rushing that we were talking about earlier. So he said this is an undoing and a releasing of this veil, that it's not going to be a doing of removing. It's going to be an undoing, like letting it really unwind for us. So to encourage all of us to let that happen and to really surrender in to the pulling back of this veil. What else came through was that we are in a time of not knowing. We're really being in a not knowing and being in the relinquishing of time at the same time. And this is the calling of the moment, and it's showing us something. So if you feel like you're confused or like there's a lot of unknown or that you don't know anything, then you're right where you're supposed to be. They really wanted us to see that if we feel like we really know, then there's some confusion happening, that actually we are aiming right now for not knowing. And in this time of not knowing, there's really something here for us, something that's deep and important for us to learn. And the thing for us to do during this time is just to empty again and again and again and again, to empty over and over and over again, and to just release all knowing. We must be willing to be reconfigured. And part of it is just to be reconfigured from all of the ways in which we have been in a society, been taught, swum in the waters of ways that don't serve the entire collective. And we have to be willing to relinquish all of that and be reconfigured. But we can be reconfigured. And this isn't all just a releasing. There's also things that we can do, but this is part of it, to stay in the unknown, to empty again and again, to be humble, to say, I don't know. And that's okay. It's okay in this moment to not know and allow yourself to be reconfigured in a way that's going to be in highest service to you and to the world. And the last thing that they wanted to say is just that you are love. You are love. You are loved. You are loving. You are love. And it's time to really live that. And if you're not currently living that that is the biggest invitation right now. You need to go out and live that. Live that for yourself, live that for your family, live that for your community, live that for all of the people of the earth, all of the animals of the earth, for the earth itself. We must turn our love toward all of these places. And when we can execute ourselves as a fully open conduit of love, that we are really going to be able to see things change. And so the question that I was left with from them is, what would love do? What would love do? And if we can keep asking ourselves that again and again, as we move through the world, as we answer texts, as we reach out to people, as we make comments on the internet, what would love do? And do that. So that was everything that they wanted to share in this really short download for today. If you want to join me in getting more of these downloads, to really listening to the universe and then integrating it into our lives, join me in my collective Love Rising. It's what we do every other week, and then we do this amazing, deep, energetic healing to make sure that we're integrating it and living it out in the world. And if you liked this video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. And check out my other videos to create more peace and freedom in your life, like this video on personal freedom and this video all about finding your seat in the web of the universe. I'm sending you so much love.